today?
You're live.
Hi, I'm
Hey,
Rachel
I'm
Patton, Executive
John Nelson.
Director of Preserve Arkansas. Welcome. We're going to give it just a few minutes for people to join the video, and then we'll get started.
Oh, is that just a...
Yeah, so it's still live.
Okay.
I'm just letting people get on there. And then I'll start it in just a minute.
There's 3 people already.
This is Stephen Savage. This is our Public Affairs Director. Holly Jackson on court. Our local news.
Rivis Blytheville.
Blaylock. Porter Bramley is our consultant. He's kind of my #1 guys to watch things. These 2 guys are the contractors, construction network.
Move to 22. You ready?
Hello again, good afternoon. I'm Rachel Patton, Executive Director of Preserve Arkansas. Preserve Arkansas is the statewide nonprofit advocate for historic preservation. Today we're coming to you live from the Mississippi County Courthouse, Chickasaba District at Blytheville, Arkansas. And we're very excited to be here today for a virtual tour of the courthouse restoration and new addition. Mississippi County is one of 10 counties in Arkansas with 2 judicial districts, meaning that it has 2 beautiful historic county courthouses, which we will tour today at 1 and the other one at Osceola at 2:30 p.m. So tune in later today for the second virtual tour. Preserve Arkansas advocates to preserve Arkansas's historic county courthouses each year. Our historic county courthouses are often the most recognizable and architecturally significant buildings in each county. They're important to preserve for those reasons, and also because they embody the integrity and what it means to be from that place and give you a sense of place and where you are in the state of Arkansas. Plus, they're built to last. They're built with materials and methods that were meant to last 100 years or more. I want to also thank Aaron Ruby, principal and owner of Revival Architecture, for putting these tours together. Unfortunately, Aaron couldn't be here today, but we are in the very capable hands of Judge John Allen Nelson, who I'll introduce in just a moment. And I want to thank our cameraman, Tim Maddox, AIA, Preserve Arkansas's VP of Education. Judge Nelson, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right, welcome to our courthouse. This courthouse was construction began in 1919. So we're just about to date doing what we started doing 100 years ago. We're going to renovate this building, which was about 17,000 square feet, and we're also going to add another roughly 17,000 square feet to it. So we're excited about preserving our history and our past with this building. It has a lot of history to it, a lot of memories, and it's a beautifully constructed building, and we're anxious to get it renovated. So I suppose let's walk around the front of the building. All of the landscaping is going to be redone. Of course, this is our World War II hero, Edgar Lloyd. He had a Medal of Honor winner, and we're going to preserve his memorial here. He was interned here on the courthouse grounds in 1944. That very interesting history. We'll walk around to the front. You'll see the scaffolding. Every one of these windows by our architect was numbered and each one of those, it's had a page dedicated to it, and there was comments about the windows. The windows are a very big part of the architectural design. I have yet to find out what the term is for these windows right here that has what looks like an asterisk on the top. But you'll see those in a lot of federal buildings, state buildings, in the transom. All of this has been washed at one time, or is in the process of being washed. We're going to try to put it back like it was when it was first built. This is a mock-up of some of the limestone and brickwork and different mortar colors that's going to be incorporated into the new building. We're going to preserve all of this, the balcony on the second floor, which is very ornate. We've got a structural engineer that's examining it right now to see what improvements it may need. Right in the middle of the construction today, so it might get a little bit noisy on this side. We'll walk around to the back of it and I'll show you the new addition. This is the east side of the building, and sometime during the 80s they put a elevator here to comply with the Arkansas Disabilities Act, and we have since taken that down and we're moving the elevators into the new structure. In the ground here is the two areas where the elevators will be put. This elevator, this will be for the public. The other elevator will be for those defendants that's brought to come into court. It's going to be adjudicated on the third floor. That elevator will just stop on the third. These three areas right here are bays that the sheriff's deputies will enter into with those defendants. We'll come on around and this is the north side of the courthouse, and one of the things that I was adamant about was keeping this bay window. It's a prominent feature to the courthouse architecture. Unfortunately, the public will not be able to really have too much access to view this, but it is a beautiful part of the building, and I am trying to make sure that we do as least we can to damage that history or that integrity of that architecture. This will be one of the doorways that at one time was a window, and now we're going to have access from the new building to the old building. Step into the west entrance and you'll see here, this was where the boiler was. And if you look closely over behind those electrical panels, there's a doorway there that goes into another room that at one time when the courthouse was originally constructed, there was a coal chute. And they would store the coal in this other room and then bring it into a wheelbarrow, and the boiler was over here. That office, sometime after they had gotten off of the coal burning system, they had brought the floor up much like they have here, and they had used that as an office for the collector.
Judge, what year was this courthouse built?
This was started in 1919. I have not been able to find out exactly when they cut the ribbon on it. It was sometime around 1923.
Okay. And designed by Pine Bluff firm?
It was designed by a Pine Bluff firm. There was actually 3 architects on that job. I'm not sure I could pronounce their names exactly.
One was Seligman.
Yes.
And I can't remember the other one that he was in partnership with.
And actually this was, while we were getting ready to do the plans on this one, we were looking to try to find the original blueprints. And those 2 guys that came together to build this courthouse, the unusual thing about it, they created that partnership just for this one building, and then they went back to their own private practices. So I found their offices, and some of their old work, but as far as their combined work, we've yet to find the blueprints. But we're still looking.
Yep, still looking.
We'll come right through here, and you'll be able to see what used to be done with wood 2x4s, and a lot of wood products being changed to metal. These are the fire doors that are going to be here. They're going to remain open, and then they'll be actually tripped by firearms, and they'll be closed. You can see a lot of the metal work in here. We're going to try to keep the heights of our ceilings the way they were originally done. You do see some of the fur downs here, which are going to accommodate our heat and air. And that's one of the reasons why that we needed to upgrade the building was that in 1919, when this was started, they did not accommodate for the additional needs in electrical wiring and plumbing. Of course, there was no air conditioning, so over the years there ended up to be our windows had outside individual air conditioning units, space heaters during the winter, and then computer wiring. So we had really become a building with a hodgepodge of wiring and cabling that was just not keeping up with the time. This is the Courier Entryway from the main door on the south side of the building. This is one of the most beautiful parts of the building. We're going to a lot of trouble to make sure that we maintain all of the architectural integrity here. And all of this stone will be cleaned up. We've done some test spots here to see exactly what it would look like when we get through. And this is we're gonna put this back in the same beauty that it was when it was put in 100 years ago.
It's gorgeous.
We'll come down this way. This was the old assessor's office in here. We used this room to stage as a meeting room where the architects, the owner, and the contractors get together, and we'll go over and we meet twice a month at least, and go over what we've been doing since our last meeting. If we would, we'd like to step up to the second floor. Oh, let's see, before we do, let's step over here. I do want to show off this area. This is going to be one of the main walk-through areas for the public. And they're going to come through this door right here. And when they do, they're going to be in the county clerk's area. What we're going to do is we're going to use this space to show off some of our really, really old books back from the earliest days. And that'll be sometime during the mid-1800s. Beautifully bound leather books. We're going to display those up there. We're going to have a curtain wall here with some of the oldest documents copied and then etched into this glass. Maybe some of the old photographs that will be etched into the glass that you'll be able to see through. And you won't be, this won't be a solid curtain. These will just be glass panels coming down. But you still won't be able to touch the books, but you'll be able to see them. So this will be a new doorway right here that we're putting in. Interesting about this building, in 1919, one of the biggest problems they had with buildings in cities is they burnt down really easily. So sometimes during the early teens, mid-teens, whole cities were burning down. So when they came and decided to do this building, you can see there's limestone on the outside, and then there is brick on the inside, and then decorative brick at the top. But this brick right here, you can see this is the original. The reason why they used that brick is not because they wanted to make it a part of where you could see, but they just wanted the cheapest material that they could come up with to put the plaster over. So I think we'll find that we can get to some areas of the building where you can still see the original brick without the plaster, which I think is really a beautiful feature of it. But they didn't regard it that way. They just wanted something to apply the plaster to so they could paint. So this is the first floor, and we'll make our way up to the second floor. Second floor to the Blytheville Courthouse building. We'll walk down through here and we'll be able to look over the Courier area we just painted. You'll see that a lot of our original lighting is missing. It's hanging down here and also on this post and in other various parts of this room. They have been sent off and it's going to be restored by a vendor that does antique lighting. Bring them back to their original finish, and then we'll rehang those. And you'll notice the balcony there. County business in 1919 was handled differently, so at times there'd be auctions and other county duties out there that'd be performed from that balcony. This room will be the county judge's office. This is the outer office here. There's a bathroom in between, and then the private office in the back. The transoms and all of the hardware is going to remain. Some of this has been taken down, but we've got it in storage and it'll be put back up. The original coat hangers will remain there. The doors, we're going to have new doors, but we're going to try to preserve everything that we can that was built in here originally. We'll make our way down this way, and we'll go to the courtroom on the third floor. Oh, let's see, let's step in here though. This is the bay window on the inside. This is the financial department here, and we originally that was going to be taken down, and I had asked that it remain there because it's such a prominent part of the building. So what we've done on this floor is this will end up being a part of HR, maybe just some interviews with some prospective employees and things of that nature. And you can see the original brickwork there too. And I'll tell you another really interesting thing about it. If you'll notice, this may not be the best place to see it, but these bricks are laid long ways, and then every so many courses you'll see other bricks laying the other way. It was a method of tying the outside brick and the inside brick in together, like a puzzle, so they wouldn't move. We'll make our way up to the third floor. third floor courtroom. We got helped up a little bit on this part of the project. We had examined the entire building for asbestos. Thought we had located it all. And there was tile here at one time which did not have any asbestos in it. But on further look, we found out that the glue that binded it had asbestos. So we just got through abating it. Judge's bench will be put back where it was originally. This will be a doorway. That'll be the public will be going in. The balcony is going to stay. These fluorescents will come down and will be replaced by some modern light.
Judge, before this project, how much of this could you see? Was it all closed off? What could you see the balcony?
Yes, the balcony is still, you can see it. Actually, you know, those, you might think though, because it's so but this was how it was originally, and over the years, sometime or other they had walled this off, and this was a room that served as, I believe, client's attorney room. And then I think some of the witnesses was over there, so there was actually a wall right here, and you could not, the only way you could enter it is to go back out the front and then come in on these side doors. And then the jury box was over here, judge's bench here. There's a wall there that's been replaced right now. Jury room was over here. This served as the judge's chambers. And we'll step in there and see some of that brickwork too. And what I'm hoping to do in here is make a little bit of changes in our original design. We'll try to push up the ceiling a little bit higher and leave some of this brick. And then if you notice here too, as they were building this brick, a lot of times what they'd go back through is channel in with wiring or pipes is in here. And you'll see on this brickwork right here, these bricks that are turned long ways, that ties in the outside brick and the inside brick. And then these back running long way, then back again. So there's so many courses of brick land horizontally and then running back in to the outside brick. And we'll make our way back here to the other side. This is some of the woodwork that went over the radiators and the sides of the building.
And what will this room be used for?
Let's see, this one is, I believe this will be the jury room. It's going to be set up similar to the way it was before. Jury room on one side, judges and attorneys on the other side. But beautiful brickwork up here that have always been covered up. And I'd like to find a way that we can still be able to see that and have the function of the building as well. These windows or these vents right up here have been covered up for decades. We're going to open those back up Of course, all these windows will be cleaned up. Tiles, the glass will be inspected. Some of that will have to be changed out. Some of it's got cracks in it. We're going to leave all of the original as much as we can.
Mm-hmm. Judge, before we run out of time, I want you to briefly talk about how is this being paid for?
All right, in March of 2016, there was a sales tax passed 0.5% in order to support our hospitals here in this county. We had 2 hospitals, one in the north end, one in the south end. And that 0.5% produced about $3.2 million annually. They used that money for capital improvements as well as operations. And it was to set sunset in 5 years. And so we proposed to the voters in late 2018 and 2019 the possibility of using some of that revenue to finance the courthouse renovations. And so what we did was we come up with a bond issue of $18,100,000, and it's going to have a principal and interest payment of $986,500 annually. And so we proposed to the voters, and they passed the referendum on February 12th of 2019, the extension of that for 31 years, which will now sunset in 2051. And of that $3.2 million is what's been averaging for the last 5 years. We'll use whatever principal and interest money that we need in order to finance these. So we're roughly taking 1/3 of that money and leaving the hospitals 2/3 of it. And during those 31 years, we'll pay off the $18 million bond issue.
Okay, that's great.
So it's going to really work out well. We passed that referendum at 72% of the voters, so it was very much in favor of it. The people of Mississippi County wants to keep their hospital systems running very well, and they want to preserve their historic buildings and courthouses very well.
That's wonderful. We're so glad.
I'm so glad for everything you do. That's I think after the referendum we found out exactly how much the number of people that really love our old buildings and our historic buildings and want to preserve those any way that we can.
Thank you, Judge. Is there anything else that you want to close with here?
No, except come back and see the finished result when we get through. We're very excited about that, excited about the landscaping. We're excited about some of the particulars in this building. I think it's going to be very unique, and I invite y'all back to come and see it.
So when is the grand opening? Reopening?
I'm not going to venture out to say that just yet, although I talked with the contractors this morning, and I'm thinking we're probably maybe mid 2021.
Wonderful.
Right now, though, we're on time and under budget, so that's good.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Glad to have y'all here.
Thank you. Thank you for watching, everyone. And if you have questions or comments on the video, feel free to put those after the video ends, and we'll get you the answer after the fact. If you want to learn more about Preserve Arkansas, visit our website at preservearkansas.org or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And you may join us at 2:30 to see a virtual tour at the Osceola Courthouse. Bye.